Alright. Welcome to the Fluff, your sexy bitches, and welcome to another SCP reading stream. SCP Reading Sunday. Just cracking my neck a little bit. Henry is ready. He's right next to me. He's paying attention. He's looking carefully. And bam, boom. Yeah. You know what would help? The window capture to actually work. Yes. That's interesting. Wait, hold on. I want to see that now. I want to see that live. Oh, weird. Also, wasn't I? No, I never was. For some reason, for a moment, I thought I was on the left side, like my webcam part. But then I then realized no, because all of my ratings was always left. I was always right. Henry always joining me on adventure. I'll switch the lights up. There we go. Henry. It's just you and me. My audio's on, right? Yes, my audio's on. Let's go. Scroll. No need to scroll. And we can just speed right through. Gotta send some text to people to say that I am indeed online and what is happening over here. That's done. He can't come. That's a that's a shah. No, that's basically it. Oh wait, I do wanna know. I met somebody followed me on Twitter, and I'm not sure if she's gonna see this, but I will have to look at that later. I wanna ask her if there's any SCP, because she apparently writes for containment fiction, and which is conflict wiki and SCP. So I do want to ask her real quick if any upcoming SCP are coming up. Well, yeah, are hers. Any upcoming SCPs are hers. Hey, streaming my streaming a SCP reading right now. Now was wondering if any of the upcoming SCPs are yours. Today I am doing the 870s. So if it's not today I'm doing the 870s. Are any of them yours in it? And if no, which upcoming number it will be? There we go. Tweet that and bam. Finito. Okay, 5 minutes have passed. That's usually the good enough time for people to join in and all that stuff. Let's start with the reading, shall we? There may be there may be the monsters. So it's not maybe there's monsters. There may be the monsters. The fuck? Oh yeah, I should have done my keep forgetting. It's always the first one that I keep forgetting to do the whole like what could it potentially be. But I did listen. The maybe the monster I would have assumed it was a Schrodinger's cat version of a monster, where like it's like he's like underneath your bed, but there's like a 50-50 chance he is and 50-50 chance he isn't. I did not expect that. Oh, that's gonna be a bitch to me to do as a thumbnail. Ah, God. Well, I mean, all I gotta do is take a rat head, and Photoshop that on top of a bat body, maybe. It is keto. Wow, we're starting off with keto today, Henry. We're starting off with a keto. All right. SCP-870 is to be contained in a sealed chamber measuring 8 times 8 meters motion 8 times 8 meters. Excuse me. I need to like see the periods and then stop, like how my English teacher taught me. So like this. SCP-870 is to be contained in a sealed chamber measuring 8 times 8 meters. Motion sensors are to be placed in the containment area, and movements of SCP-870 are to be monitored at all times. She didn't teach us like this, but you get the point. Well, sketch of SCP-870 from the journal of Mr. Blank Blank. First of all, he's really good at drawing. Also, why would he sketch everything else around it? Why are there pterodactyls? A motion-activated turret is to be placed directly outside the containment area to prevent the escape of SCP-870. One D-Class personnel suffering from schizophrenia is to observe SCP-870 via camera at all times. SCP-870 is to be provided with one bovine carcass every 48 hours. Description: SCP-870 is an animal species of undetermined proportions and appearance, which for unknown reasons can only be perceived by individuals suffering from schizophrenia. This often results in specimens of SCP-870 being dismissed as hallucinations. Specimens of SCP-870 are omnivorous and seem to eat nearly all kinds of plants and meat, but will typically eat the food in secluded areas. Notably, two people with the ability to perceive SCP-870 will describe its appearance in completely different ways. Even looking at the same specimen of SCP-870, description of SCP-870 have included an alligator with spider legs and 3 eyes. So that's why there's monsters, because everybody has a different depiction of what that monster looks like. So it's not, you don't know if they're bullshitting or not, or if that's actually what they're seeing. A man made out of smoke, a giant ant with a human face. Okay, that is creepy. This actually gives a lot of thumbnail ideas. A giant ant with a human face, that's easy to do. A hunchbacked child with a parrot's head. A spider with too many legs. A giant centipede with human arms instead of legs. Do you believe this? Now this is some mad crazy shit right there. Specimens of SCP-870 are highly predatory and will typically stalk their prey for months and years without eating. It is unknown how they manage to last this time without succumbing to malnutrition. Eventually, at a seemingly random time when the prey is alone or in a secluded area, SCP-870 will kill and swallow the prey whole. See interview 870-1. SCP-870 methods of reproduction is currently unknown, but the Journal of Schizophrenic Researcher blank speculates that they do not actually require sustenance to survive, and instead repurpose the body of their victim into their young over a large period of time. This theory has not been verified, and research is underway to test it. The specimen of SCP-870 currently in Foundation custody frequently attempts to breach containment and has proven hostile to all personnel. Banging noises are audible from SCP-870's containment area at all hours of the day. Research is ongoing to find a way to perceive SCP-870 without being schizophrenic, but this may take a considerable length of time. It is currently believed that there could be dozens, if not hundreds, of SCP-870 in the world. They are clear and present danger to the public, and steps must be taken to destroy or contain the species. I have a message here that says... Okay, I might join later on. If I get the time. Is this... Okay, yeah, this is... It's always unsure if it opens up. Although most of the time if it's like this, it actually opens up a section. Okay. Let me actually, just to be 100% sure, open Twitter on my other computer in case she answers us in quick time. That is not an answer. That's somebody liking my shit. So that's something else. Interviewed Mr. Blank, interviewer Dr. Blank. On blank blank 2000 blank, Mr. Blank reported to police that he had killed a monster at his home in blank. Mr. Blank was later found to be schizophrenic, and the foundation suspecting SCP-870 involvement brought him in for interrogation. I should ask. I should ask that, yes. That would be an interesting way to like have somebody on who's too shy to be on, but have a friend on, you know. Okay. Sorry, this makes no sense. Like, just you guys cannot read my mind, so it doesn't make sense what I just said. But let's just read.
Hello, Blink. How are you?
I'm fine. I like the idea that he says he stops saying fine because he's just so baffled at what kind of voice this guy came out with. Like it's probably not the case, but my God, that the fact that I choose that voice and he's like, I'm fine. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Blink. I'm just here to verify some details about what you told the police.
Sure, I guess. Shoot.
What did this monster look like? Can you describe it for me?
Are you calling me a liar? It's true. I swear. It was there.
Please answer the question, Blink.
Sorry. Why does he speak like that? Henry. He also has a Henry with him. Henry, why does he speak like this? Just kind of stressed. Well, it sort of looked like a spider, but with way too many legs. It was just running at me and screeching, and I shot it. Okay. I don't mind spiders. Like, I really don't mind spiders. Like, maybe when they're big, when they're massive, I'm a little bit more worried, but I don't think, I don't have like an innate fear of a spider. That being said, if a spider with too many legs ran at me like he was the fucking Usain Bolt of spiders and screeched while doing so, just went, then I would throw this whole table at it.
Was this the first time you seen this monster, Blink? I'm sorry. Answer the question, please.
I've been seeing them everywhere. I've been following them, seeing what they did. I need to know they were real, you know?
Understandable. Did you see anything important?
One of the bastards was hunting this guy. I just saw it outside his house, watching him. Me watching him. Have you ever dropped something, then looked on the floor and it's gone?
Certainly.
Why? Just out of nowhere, tone shift. It's not just gone. This guy, I saw him drop a ruler and that thing, it was under his desk. It just snatched and ate it whole. Then a few days later, it ate him. Swallowed him whole.
Well, thank you, Blink. Miss Blank will see you out.
Closing statement, Mr. Blank was dosed with a Class A amnestic and subsequently released. Worryingly, Mr. Blank implied that SCP-870 were present in a major population center. Further investigation is ongoing. Addendum 1. I personally don't believe that the... Wait, that's probably the doctor.
I personally don't believe that the schizophrenics are really seeing SCP-870 fully. They can't just see it more than us. We don't see it because our brains are made to see it. The schizophrenics, their brains are wired up just a tiny bit differently, and they can see it just a tiny bit more. These things have the perfect camouflage, and we simply aren't able to see through it.
Dr. Blank. Oh. I will never again do that voice. Or at least, if I do that voice again, it will be only for short bits. Luckily, that was a short interview because I don't sure if I could have done that for a longer section of a reading. Because it's not a hard voice to do. It's just it kind of takes the breath out. Okay, yeah, that's a really cool one, gotta say. And I can see why it's key though, because like, how do you deal with a thing that to every person looks and acts different? You know what I mean? Like, you can look at the same thing and be like, it's a spider. No, it's a crocodile. No, it's a bird. It's a sparrow. And everybody's like, well, great. Okay, my spider has too many legs. Well, my crocodile has razor blades for feet. Well, my bird has human hands. And you're like how, like even like, and some of them might be like this hedgehog is made out of pure steel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, after a while, like, you don't know how to deal with it, because there's only so many things you can just use a gun at. Like, as the guy said, he shot at it. But what if that spider was immune to bullets? We don't know. Or had the power of teleportation. As he said, one of the things, like, one of the monsters he watched did teleport around. So yeah. Self-replacing cake. Simple idea, very simple idea. It's a cake. The moment you finish it, it just boom, just comes back. But then the twist is, every time it comes back, you crave more, and then you eat, and then you're like, oh, I'm so full. Boom. Oh, but I can eat more. And you just grow in size until you die of diabetes. And just you can't move anymore because you're just so fat. There we go. Whoa, 1,000. Now that's a rarity. Another key. We have 2 keys, Henry. We have 2 keys. In the meantime, check. Oh, hey. You just missed my stuff in the 800s, but I have a few in the 900s. I wrote more of series two than any of other authors, so when you hit those, you'll be tripping over my articles. Let's see what we have here. So she wrote Dixie Funland. She wrote The Efficient Wash Basin. Okay. Rewrite of Man Eating Wash Basin by Age. Okay. Hey, nice. We just. So that's probably why she found me. Okay, cool. And she has quite a lot in the 1000, especially. Ooh, it looks like she has a lot in the 1300. Seems to be a lot. 1400, 1500. Actually, she has the most in the 1500. I'm looking forward to seeing those. I'm going to quickly answer her. Oh, you wrote the wash basin. I love that one. Nice. I can't wait. I love those. Nice. I can't wait to read your other one when I get to them. I'm gonna save it. Is that a download button? No, not download. Save this one in a bookmark. Bookmark this, because this might come in handy in the future. That's so cool. Okay, she wrote the wash basin one. The efficient wash basin. That's a good one. Okay, here we go. Each reoccurrence of SCP-871 is to be maintained within a separate locked concrete cell on a metal platter permanently affixed to the surface of an immovable wooden table. Each cell housing a reoccurrence of SCP-871 is to be monitored on a 24-hour basis via closed-circuit camera, with individual feeds checked every 25 minutes. Upon creation of an instance of SCP-871, 3D class personnel are to be escorted by armed guards to its cell, where they are to be sealed with the instance and induced to consume it. No more than 1 hour may be spent performing this task. In cases where additional motivation is needed, the termination of one of the Class D personnel assigned to the instance of SCP-871 is authorized. Upon completion of the consumption of an instance, no participants may exit the cell until both they and the room have been thoroughly searched to confirm that no portions remain. The platter, table, and room are then to be cleaned in preparation for the next instance. Class D personnel who prove cooperative in the consumption of an instance of SCP-871 may volunteer to participate in additional consumptions. Okay, so it's not like they... Well... We don't know. I was about to say maybe they don't have a craving for the cake, but it can also just be that they want to volunteer, because it does say may volunteer, but that doesn't mean anything. Maybe they just volunteer once. Personnel exhibiting exceptional usefulness may have their monthly termination postponed. Such personnel are under no circumstances to be allowed to interact with any other SCP object. No desserts of any kind are to be served on site at any facility housing a reoccurrence of SCP-871. I'm not sure if that's a good thing, having the termination postponed. Because, yes, you get to live longer, but also you live in the Foundation custody. I'm not sure how lucky that is. Description: SCP-871 is a collection of 237 cakes. Man, Fluffy would love this.
He likes chocolate cake.
Instances of SCP-871 vary widely in appearance and size, covering the entire range of foods described by humans as cake. The smallest observed instance of SCP-871 was a miniature cupcake with a mass of 15 grams. The largest yet observed was a 22-kilogram Baumkuchen measuring 2 meters in length. Oh. First of all, Baumkuchen, so good, especially the one in Japan. Ooh! But wait, did you just say 2 meters in length? The whole Baumkuchen just... A 22-kilogram count. That's also a heavy one. That's a heavy Baumkuchen. I mean, it's 2 meters in length. When any instance of SCP-871 is consumed, here we go. Here comes the fucky wucky. Here comes the weird things, the shenanigans, the bamboozling. Is consumed by a human or a collection of humans. It is replaced approximately 24 hours afterwards with a similar cake. This cake will appear on a flat surface in the vicinity of the location where the previous instance was eaten. If any of these cakes is substantially damaged through any means other than being eaten by human, including being eaten by a non-human animal, it will be replaced instantaneously. Instances recreated in this manner maintain the schedule of the original instance. The mechanism by which instances of SCP-871 are replaced is currently unknown. Now see, this all sounds nice. This just sounds like you have a limited amount of cake, right? But remember guys, this bitch is keto. We don't know. We don't know if maybe, just maybe, it has some black magic in it that will do something horrible to your body. Except, you know, it being not the healthiest meal, but other than that. Individual reoccurrences of SCP-871 have been observed to mutate over time. That's not what I expected. Varying in minor characteristics between each instance, with larger changes occurring in roughly 5% of replacements. No deleterious effects have been observed to result from the consumption of SCP-871, even in cases where several instances have been consumed, excepting those expectable from eating large amounts of cake. So now it all clicks together. So that's why they're sending in people to eat it. That's why there's not too many people around, because the last thing they want is to accidentally damage the cake that's not considered eating. Because then there's going to be more duplicates, and the more duplicates means the more people have to eat stuff. And after 24 hours, 25 hours, after 24 hours, the cake does some weird shenanigans with itself. SCP-871's danger originates in the consequences of an instance not being eaten. Any instance of SCP-871 which is not consumed will cause a new cake to be created in its vicinity after 24 hours. While this is similar to its normal replacement behavior, the original instance will continue to exhibit the same properties, replicating if damaged and continuing to replace itself every 24 hours. This behavior has been observed in all cases where more than 10% of the mass of an instance remained unconsumed. As there is no known mechanism for halting SB871's replication, any uncontained instances could replicate exponentially quickly, becoming unmanageable. No maintainable plans for the containment of more than 20,000 instances of SB871 have been yet devised. It is estimated that an uncontrolled outbreak originating with a single instance would render the Earth uninhabitable within 18 days. That's why it's keto. I was like, what else does it do? It just replicates? That doesn't sound very dangerous, but yeah, of course. If it instantaneously just keeps creating cake, then after a while the whole world is covered in cake. The whole world is cake, as the meme is said. Okay, self-replacing cake. Wow, 2 ketas in a row. All right. We have the tattered farmer. The tattered farmer. I assume that, you know how when clothes are tattered, they're like they lose their color, a couple holes, a couple scratches. I imagine that, like this guy is like unnaturally pale, and there's clearly a couple like wounds that never heal. They're just constantly there. He's just pure white, and like in certain areas there's just gashes and wounds, and it's just constantly open. There's no blood coming out, but it's just like this gash, just like looks like it's just like a hole. Maybe. Oh, well, I did not expect a scarecrow. The ratings of the first 3 ones are pretty good. Ah, God. Here we go. It is safe, so we went from keto to safe now. Let's see if she has Wait, hold on now. Is that? Oh, never mind. I thought that was somebody I knew. I thought that was somebody I knew. It wasn't. Okay, when not under controlled observation, SCP-872 is to be kept in cold storage at sector blank. SCP-872 is to be kept in 2 kilometers from any concentrated group of animals considered livestock at all times. What does the scarecrow do? What does it do? When under controlled observation, a perimeter is to be established outside the observation area, and research is to cease immediately in the event of an attempted containment breach. 10 members of security are to be present during controlled observation to enforce this. Controlled observation must be approved by 1 member of level 4 personnel. Description: SCP-872 is an aged scarecrow outfitted with a tattered coat and hat, measuring 3 meters tall and 10 centimeters wide. 3 meters tall. Damn, this boy is big. SCP-872 is composed of pine wood, splinters of which have not displayed its enormous properties. When animals considered livestock, sheep, cows, chickens, etc., enter the area within 1.5 kilometers of SCP-872, they are immediately affected by its enormous properties. SCP-872 affected animals are extremely hostile to humans and will viciously assault any who approach them. Affected animals have been observed to utilize advanced maneuvers such as flanking and ambushing. Alright, boys. We got a human out there. Group B, go around. Group C, you stay here. Group A, we're going forward. Don't give him a chance to escape. Wow, so instead of scaring animals away from like farmland, it makes animals aggressive. Affected animals have also been observed to behave as if in an automated farm environment. Chickens will lay their eggs in easy to access areas. Sheep will attempt to move wool from each other using their teeth. Cows have been observed to kill 1 cow each week and roughly separate its carcass into strips of meat. That is, it's already like weird, because if you think about how like we humans have to do that, or we don't have to, we do it, we just do it. it's all like, so, like we can already argue like with certain people it's not okay, with certain people it's normal. But the idea that a cow is doing that to another cow, it's very fucked up. It's already messed up when we humans do it in a very animal abusive type way. And like if it's just like, you know what I mean. But it's just weird to have another animal be like, well, we gotta process ya. You gotta become the burgers and the bacon and everything. Each month, the animals will transport anything produced to the perimeter of SB-872 area of influence and allow humans to remove it from the area. Ah, I see. So they like, it's like, here you go. We done it for you. When removed from SB-872's area of influence, affected animals immediately enter a vegetative state. This vegetative state is reversed when said animals are returned into SB-872's area of influence. Well, I guess this guy is making the farmer's life easier because the animals literally do the job for the farmers. But it's still, it's a bit messed up, I gotta say. I want my Lipton tea. Ah, yeah. Lipton peach. Although I think I like the lemon more. I mean, peach is really good though, but I feel like for like this size of a bottle, lemon is my preference. Peach is good for like small bottles, for like a meal. Okay. Russian crystal ball. It's a crystal ball that only speaks Russian. Everything it shows is just either A, it's in Russian, or it takes place in Russia. It doesn't care about the rest of the world. It was saved, now it's Euclid. Ooh, additional notes. Ooh. Okay. This is the lowest one so far from the rating, but it's still over the 100. SCP-873 is to be kept in a secure room at Site 19. No, it's not. That's a lie. I want to check every new SCP, like if she answered again. But I think, yeah, okay. The fact that she even gave me this is pretty dope. She has like 3 in the 900s. So I'm really looking forward to it because I think the wash basin and the Dixie Funland are some really good ones. Revised. See containment procedure updates. Bam. 3 wide spectrum high definition cameras shall be mounted in order to maintain 360-degree observation of SB-873 on a continual basis. Recorded video data shall be achieved in the Foundation's secure network and access granted to any researcher with clearance to or better upon request. Physical examination and testing of SB-873 is permitted with written approval from level 3 or above. Revised. See containment procedure updates. Containment procedure updates. Well, here we go. Blank 19 blank. Until further notice, physical access to SCP-873 as well as access to recorded video from SCP-873 is restricted to researchers with direct approval of the site direction. That's also crossed out. More updates. Containment procedure update. Blank 2000 blank. Until further notice, physical access to SCP-873 as well as access to recorded video from SCP-873 is restricted to level 4 researchers with O5 approval. More updates. Containment procedure update. Blank 2000 blank. SB-873 is to be permanently relocated to Site Blank and stored in a concrete-lined vault at least 2,000 meters below ground and at least 100 kilometers from any other SCP containment facility or human population center. That is pretty far away. Okay. Archives of video surveillance are to be encrypted to a secured, dedicated data warehouse with access limited to level 4 and above. Any changes in mass, volume, or apparent refractive index must be reported immediately to O5 command. With the fact of how the SCP foundation is everywhere and how many how many agents they have and MTFs they have and doctors and D class, it almost on the amount of SCPs, it almost half the world knows these things exist. Because I don't see how only a couple thousands can deal with all this. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they have for each 100 SCP they have I don't know. For 100 SCP they have 20 doctors, 50 D class. Just trying to estimate how this would work on a budget wise, because this is a lot of people. SB-873 is a spherical object 138 millimeters across with a detectable mass of 5.3 kilograms. Kilograms. And why did I say kilograms? That was weird. It gives the appearance of being made of flawless glass or crystal, but all attempts to determine the material of its construction have been inconclusive. No attempt to remove a sample has been successful, and spectroscopic analysis has shown no absorption spectra that can be attributed to the object. Because of its anomalous properties, its refractive index can only be estimated. The object is transparent, but only 50% of photons entering the sphere will emerge, with a variable percentage of photons emerging from SCP-873 originate from SCP-873 itself. This has been confirmed using quantum entanglement and a coherent light source. The photons emerging from SCP-873 appear to originate from light striking an identical object displaced in both time and space from SCP-873. This object has been designated SCP-873 Prime, or SCP-873. The anomalous effects of both SCP-873 and SCP-873 Prime, I'm just going to call that one Prime, Prime, seem identical in that an observer of Prime will perceive 50% of photons striking SCP-873 as being emitted from Prime, whereas SCP-873 emits 50% of photons striking Prime. Okay. In addition, where the light emitted from SCP-873 shows no anomalous properties in and of itself, the images provided are presented in strict reverse chronological order. To an observer of SCP-873, it appears that Prime is moving backwards in time at a rate of exactly 1 second per second. The effect is mirrored for any observers of SCP-8 of Prime, who perceive the image from SCP-873 as progressing backwards in time at the same 1:1 ratio. Despite the differences in perception between observers of SCP-873 and Prime, written communication has been possible. Unfortunately, information transfer is often hindered by quantum interference, rendering messages illegible. It has been theorized that the interference is a form of paradox censorship. Current observation and experiments are recording images from Prime in the possession of Dr. Ivan Blank, a physician to the court of Tsar Alexander I in 18 blank. Well, here we go. We have an addendum which says acquisition notes. SCP-873 was purchased clandestinely from the archives of Blank University in Volgograd in blank 1991. 2. Most paperwork in regards to the provenance of the object were lost in the transition between the USSR and the Russian Federation. The only documentation the Foundation has recovered to date is a 3-page typewritten letter from 1940 blank from Redacted to Redacted, detailing the post-war return of the object to the university. According to Redacted, was acquired by a 1927 expedition by the Soviet Academy of Sciences from Evenk natives in Siberia. No details about the nature, purpose, or participants of the expedition were given. And then we have an addendum 2, which says Incident I-5. Yeah, I just skipped. I and 5. That's all I want to say from those ones in the future. I hope if I remember my own rules. Document I-5. Personnel involved redacted. 9/12/2000 blank. SB-873 observation room site blank. Description: since 6/27 19 blank, Prime has been in a locked container producing no visual information. Beginning 1315 on 9th, 12, 19 blank, the following imagery was recorded. Okay, here we go, 1315. Light abruptly appears entering from the top of box. Prime is inside as the lid is forcibly opened. 1 minute later, as Prime quickly rises into the hands of an God, my chin is itchy now. Unidentified man in dress appropriate to the early 19th century Russian Empire. The man is apparently shouting something at SCP Prime as he places it on a desk in front of him. Visible on the desk is an open strong box, and through an open door a female corpse can be seen. In another minute, the man holds up a partially crumpled piece of paper to Prime. One message has been scrawled out illegibly, and beneath that one is one sentence reading, "I know what you will do now." Another minute passes. The man takes the message I think it's okay. No, never mind. The man takes the message and unwrites it with a quill pen drawn from a holder next to Prime. He then violently scratches out the prior message, revealing it. With shaking hands, he unsmooths the paper, leaving it a crumpled ball, and carefully places it on the floor next to the open door to the office. Another minute. The man returns to the desk, closes the strong box, and walks backwards out of the room with it, stepping over the corpse in the doorway. And now 6 minutes later, the man runs backwards into the room, almost tripping on the corpse. He is holding a cane that shows signs of blood and hair stuck to it. He comes to an abrupt halt in the doorway and stares down at the dead woman for approximately 6 minutes. I have a feeling I know where this is now going. Now 6 minutes pass, the man raises his cane and the woman corpse leaps up to meet it. The cane rebounds off her head and shoulders 3 times before she left standing, facing the man as he lowers the crane into his side with a visible trampling hand. It's Tenet. It's Tenet. It's fucking Tenet. Well, I'm not saying that this person copied Tenet, because this was definitely out before Tenet came out, but the closest thing I can think of is Tenet's story, like a meeting point in time, and then you know, the man and woman engage in an animated discussion during which the crumpled paper jumps up from the ground into the man's left hand, where he uncrumples it during the discussion. As the conversation ends, the man appears less anxious and more relaxed. 5 minutes later, the man shuts the door on the woman and quickly backs to the desk, sits down and holds the paper up to Prime, glances back towards the door once. On the paper, the first message, now legible, reads, "Dear friends, as you know, or will know, time proves such an unwelcome barrier. My wife has always been enthusiastic about our relationship with you. The glimpses of the future you have thus far provided have been redacted. I will apologize if she seems to have gone beyond the bounds of discretion. While you have ever been explicit in requesting our secrecy, you shall find, as I have, that she is strong-willed and has her own opinion about such matters. However, it is her contact with redacted that may at last provide me with an answer to the origins of this fascinating and terrifying object we share. Continued communication identified this man as Dr. Ivan Blank, director from 05 have been directives, not director. I was like, what? The 05? That's gonna be awkward to try to arrest him or contain him. Directives from 05 have ordered communication to continue in an effort to gather intelligence about the origins of Prime. Communication with Dr. Ivan Blank is ongoing, will continue for the next blank years until the observation Prime timeline reaches the point where Redacted presented Dr. Blank with Prime as a gift. Addendum 3, which is note on update to containment procedures. After extrapolating back the timelines of SCP-873 and Prime and assuming a constant one-on-one ratio, the point where both timelines become coincident is 17 o'clock UT June. Battery low. 1908. Given that SCP-873 was recovered in Siberia by a 1927 expedition by the Soviet Academy of Sciences, and such an expedition in 1927 was the first recorded on-site investigation of Redacted, can be almost certain that it is not a coincidence. Since it is unknown if Redacted was the source of the anomalous properties of SCP-873, or if the SCP-873 was the cause of redacted, it is recommended that containment procedures and object classification are updated accordingly. Request granted 05. Okay. It's kind of interesting because you know how like crystal balls is supposed to tell you the future, right? But it's very fascinating if you know like the only way for you, I guess this guy knows the future because he lived the future and then came back. He traveled forward and then back in time with these crystal balls, and was able to be like, yeah, oh, looks like this will happen to you, and then it does happen. And then everybody's like, oh my god, he is a master. He's a master of deception. That's what he is. That's what he is. That's what he does. Abyssal fluid. I imagine it's a liquid that the moment it's poured on a surface, it becomes a black hole. Not like the black hole in space. Like it's just a hole, and if you walk over that liquid, you just fall into that hole. AKA like very cartoon style, like when they draw a hole in the ground, and then another person walks over and just like ah! That, I assume that. Well, I might not be so wrong. I mean, that actually looks very massive. That looks more like looks like a lake. Because there could be a boat over here. Or maybe the picture itself is only looks like it's massive. Maybe it's actually really like very small and it's just very close, and that's not a lake. That's just a part of the ground protruding out. Who knows? Euclid. While not undergoing experimentation, SCP-874 is to be kept in a container such that no horizontal volume of the substance is shallower than 5 centimeters. The fluid must be in constant motion, such as being stirred. With the Foundation current supply of SCP-874, this would be a cylindrical steel vat of radius 7 meters and height 10 meters. While SCP-874 is under study, no non-Class D personnel are to be within 5 meters of the liquid. Any lab in which SCP-874 is studied should be equipped with a winch system of no less than blank horsepower, and with steel rope of 5 centimeters thickness. All personnel who have been immersed in SCP-874 in its active state should be terminating after study. SCP-874 is a black, largely unreflective fluid with 30.87 cp viscosity and a reflectivity less than a tenth of that of water. When it approaches a static depth of 2 centimeters, the fluid functions as a portal to a seemingly infinite space. I was not wrong. I think I would argue I was right with my assumption. I would argue I was right. Telemetry into the abyss has led to no conclusive results as to its dimensions. Audio readings and personnel report the sound of distant grinding of metal and stone from this portal. Occasionally, viewers and visual recording equipment can glimpse what appears to be immense rotating blank drifting aimlessly in the otherwise featureless blackness. So yeah, this might just be very small. This might just be a very small hole. Assuming as evidence zero gravity, an object propelled through the portal can travel approximately 3,000 kilometers before being totally obscured by the very light fog that fills the abyss. Object partially lowered into the surface cannot be retrieved by any effort less than a recommended blank horsepower. Later experiments, those after March 2000 revealed that objects left in for more than 5 minutes are quickly worn away by invisible blank. Class D personnel who touched the portal reported that it felt like putting their hand in a cool bowl of water. Yeah, okay, so it's not like weird, it feels like a liquid. They were unable to remove their limbs from the surface. Oh, okay, that's a bit problematic, reflecting the difficulty of extracting inanimate objects from the portal. The personnel claimed that it felt as though an area of wires were holding them in. Video recordings of the portal showed no changes in the skin formation of those participants. After 5 minutes expired, the limbs were severed, which later examination showed to be due to a large number of irregular shallow cuts. The first batch of personnel totally submerged in SCP-874 was data expunged. The next sequence of experiments was conducted after the winch system was tested with non-living objects, which were safely retrieved if pulled up before 5 minutes of submersion. When the next group of personnel was retrieved with the harness, they reported data expunged. See document 9. Upon extraction, the group expressed elation and awe. Shortly afterwards, they began to self-mutilate and exhibit violent and suicidal tendencies. Okay, so even if you save them from the black hole that, cuts them up into teeny tiny pieces, they decide to do that to themselves anyway. That's discouraging and uncomfortable and worrisome. You want a ship? No, he's a healthy dude. He doesn't drink Lipton peach iced tea. He drinks only water. Interview 1. Document 2. Interview with D17549. Before you were extracted, what did you see behind the portal? Those eyes. Like they didn't care a bit. How beautiful. What eyes? Please explain what you saw thoroughly. And their blank were like, oh nice. And they played against each other. D17549, you are being uncooperative. If you do not answer the questions I'm asking you, you may have to suffer an early termination. Yes, that would be nice. Please, ask away. What did you see? Wait, did you say nice? We saw quite a large number of data expunged. Now, I helped you. Will you help me? You aren't in any position to be making requests. I would very much like to see things the way the blank down there do. Just tell those men with the guns to put a bullet in me. T17549 starts bashing his head against the desk. Dr. Blank backs away from the table. D17549 tackles him and is shot by security. Well, he got his wish, I guess. Oof. So whatever is down there in that abyssal space makes any human being crave what they see, but you don't really, at the end you don't really get to see what they see, right? You just die. But like the brains get brainwashed into thinking that death would be whatever sensation that black hole did. Oh. War criminals. This is another one that I could say anything and I could be wrong, right? Like with abyssal fluid, I was like, I can guess. Russian crystal ball, I guess wrong, but we can guess that as well. But yeah, with war criminals, what if it's people who have committed war crimes, but the way they committed it was like abnormal? A lot of like shenanigans, a lot of weird things happened, but nobody could really explain it. I go with that. It's a safe, and there's some more stuff to open down here. Okay, I'll open it. They'll lead to another page. Good to know. Let's see what. Okay, she responded. Yeah. Okay. Not sure why she said based, but okay. She liked what I said to her, so that's where my heart is more focused on. So, oh yeah, we already passed the halfway point, and we're not even fully an hour in. In 4 minutes we are, but yeah, this is good pacing. SCP-875 is to be marked on all maps as a military base, and all satellite images taken of the area are to be altered according to procedure Watson 24. Any civilians approaching SCP-875 are to be brought into Foundation custody and dosed with a Class A amnestic. After dosage, civilians are to be returned to the nearest city to SCP-875 blank. This image right here reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 5. Phantom Pain? Yeah, Phantom Pain. Just because of the environment you are in that game. That's why it reminds me of that. -1 strings are to be treated by on-site medical personnel using alkali prescribed in medical chart 875-1-1. In extreme cases, amputation of affected limbs is authorized. Okay, so your limbs get impacted by this SCP. No research personnel to enter SCP-875 without an escort of 2 members of security. 6 maintenance personnel to be on duty in SCP-875's reactor room at all times. SCP-875's reactor is to be checked for breaches each hour. In the event of a breach, SCP-875 is to be evacuated immediately. In the event of specimens, in the event of specimens of -3 becoming active, security personnel are to respond immediately and subdue specimens in a non-fatal manner. Specimens are then to be transported to Site Blank, where research staff will take over the operation. Okay, so we have multiple parts in this SCP. Yeah. SCP-875 is an undergoing pyramid estimated to be blank years old and located in the blank desert. No evidence of SCP-875's construction exists in records from the period, although evidence suggests that SCP-875 was man-made. The outer layer of SCP-875 is made of regular sandstone but possesses an inner layer composed of an as-yet unknown alloy. The first floor of SCP-875, accessible through the entrance tunnel, possesses the layout of a maze or labyrinth. Mechanisms contained within the floor and walls of the maze alter the configuration of this floor every 48 hours. Notably, the hallways in this section of the structure appear to have been constructed with entities much taller than humans in mind. Several pressure plates and hidden levers are capable of opening certain sections of the maze and releasing swarms of -1. Booby traps. The good old Egyptian pyramid booby traps you see in all the cartoons all the time. Or you pick up the torch and suddenly a swarm of scorpions that has managed to survive this whole time chase after you. You step on a plate and suddenly arrows fly out. -1 are small flying insect-like creatures approximately 6 centimeters in length and 3 grams in mass. Their appearance bears no similarity to any known species, suggesting extraterrestrial origin. -1 possess a highly acidic sting that has been observed to cause severe damage to nerve and tendons. Due to the swarming behavior, -1 attacks can and have resulted in complete liquefaction of limbs. I know that I forgot where I remember this, but wasn't there like I know there was something I watched where a limb just like melted off, but I forgot what. I'm pretty sure it was an anime that I watched that was like that. I might be wrong though. Due to the previous use of explosive, access to the second floor of SCP-875 is not difficult, provided the breach location can be accessed in the maze current configuration. The second floor of SCP-875 is home to 4 large vats containing a liquid similar in appearance to water. This liquid will hereafter be referred to as -2. Exposure of humans to -2 results in effects similar to an amnestic, but with the additions of a sense of satisfaction and happiness. Hey, you should probably harvest that. Use that as amnestics so that people get untraumatized from SCPs. You should probably use that. I'm just suggesting. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not a Foundation doctor or anything like that, but I am just saying. What appears to be a maintenance tunnel lead down to the 3rd floor of SCP-875, which contains a large nuclear reactor that takes up most of the level. This reactor appears to be self-cooling, as it had not experienced meltdown in the period between SCP-875's desertion and its rediscovery by the Foundation. Nevertheless, measures have been undertaken to monitor and maintain this reactor, which appear to power the machinery on the first, second, and fourth floors. Tunneling through the base of the third floor has revealed a small chamber containing what seems to be 10 cryogenic stasis chambers arranged in a circle formation. Each stasis chamber contains a large insectoid creature roughly 3 meters in height and 240 kilograms in weight. 3 specimens appear to have died and heavily decomposed through failure of the stasis chambers, and several of the specimens are heavily injured. These creatures are to be referred to as -3. For further information on -3 biology, see at autopsy -3-1. And here we have an image analysis. An analysis of several images carved into the walls of SB-875's first floor. By the way, why is this one called War Criminals, though? Why is this? Let's see. Maybe there's like some more information that helps us understand why that's the name. 2 figures, possibly -3 specimens, facing each other. One figure appears to be impaling the other with a spear. One figure identical to those in the first image, facing a human in ancient Egyptian garb. Figure appears to be holding some manner of slab. Human figure is facing away from the first figure. Perhaps suggesting an unwillingness to correspond. A large chalice with a drop of liquid falling into it. Figure from the first image is standing next to 2 human figures who appear to be bowing to it. Figure from the first image is watching 2 human figures pulling a large square using ropes. Figure from the first image is standing next to what appears to be a deceased human figure. First figure appears to be consuming data expunged. Figure from the first image inside a small rectangle, perhaps representing -3 stasis chambers. Okay, I think I am slowly understanding why they're called war criminals. Looks like they can't. So this is the whole aliens, aliens that helped with the pyramids. But after it looks like what happens afterwards is that they ate the humans, which from the sound of it, they were not allowed to. And now they're being put into cryostasis because that's as a punishment. That's what they call war criminals, because they probably weren't allowed to do that. But why war criminals though? Why not just regular criminals? There must be a war included somewhere. I'm going. Classified 05 permission required. Yes, I already opened it on blank. The following transmission was intercepted, the source of which is currently unknown. The killers from war will return immediately. That there will be any negotiations. Wait, hold on. The killers from war will return immediately. That there will be any negotiations. The implementation of those orders will be out or will be offered. 95% of species extinct will be returned to the implementation of the following. It is hatred. Killed 33 who were not born yet and 7 others. That is pestilence, killing 72 who were not born yet, eating 5 who were not born yet. That is death, escape with the assistance of killers from war. That it is. After this point, the transmission quickly deteriorated and became unintelligible. Okay, so the killers from war will return immediately. I see. So those guys must be killers. But then this part up here must be the part that says like appears to be consuming data expunged. It says here killing 72 who were not yet born, eating 5 who were not yet born yet. So looks like this guy is pestilence. Okay. Interesting. Aliens. Let me just answer this real quickly. Okay. Let's see here. Element switching pills. Ooh. Element switching pills, you say? So I assume it's a pill that you have to eat. Wow, that came out of nowhere. But does it have to be? I wonder, like, if it's like a pill you eat and you gain an element, and if you eat another pill you switch to that element, like you just become the avatar. Or if it's a pill that, like, if there's fire around you and you just crush it, because like some pills are, you know, how they're like it's just plastic, a little like that dissolvable plastic with like things inside of it. So you crush that pill, and whatever element is near you changes, or whatever element you throw that pill into change. Although I'm not sure if that's a good idea. You should probably not throw this into the ocean then, because the whole ocean of water might turn into air, more earth, or worst case scenario, fire. Ooh, we have an experiment log. I always love experiment logs. Okay, we will read the experiment log once we finish this, because it's also down here. It's safe. Oh, it's not highly rated, but we don't care about ratings here. We care about having fun. Dash 1 through dash 83, excluding 43 and 61, known collectively as Group A, are to be kept in a standard large storage container with 2 locks. Access to one key is enabled by level 2 and higher personnel. The second is only available to level 3 or higher personnel to prevent accidental abuse. Information has to be located of SCP. Information as the location of dash 684 through 121 and 43 and 61, known collectively as Group B, is only accessible to level 4 or higher. Class B amnestic must be given when business regarding Group B is complete. Each bottle in Group B must have its own containment cell with individual keys. The containment cell has 1.5 meter thick walls of lead. All bottles, whether Group A or Group B, must have the numbers indicated. Labels cannot be placed on the bottles. Description: SCP-876 is a group of traditional pill bottles labeled later expunged. The bottles are visually identical. If one is damaged, relabeled, or otherwise altered, it will revert to the usual form in blank seconds. If any of the container becomes empty, one capsule pill will appear inside of it. The pill will be 2 different colors, but the coloration is always the same for each bottle. For example, Dash 2 always forms blank and blank samples. Colors observed are red, transparent, orange, blue, green, white, black, violet, yellow, gray, and redacted. Why redacted? What color could potentially be redacted? When one pill is swallowed, okay, so you do eat it, no ill effects are observed. When the second pill is swallowed, however, an unknown procedure instantaneously converts all atoms of one element in the user's body to that of another, determined by the colors of the pill and the order ingested. It does say the has 2 different colors, so how does that work? If you have a green-blue pill, you eat that, but then you eat a yellow-red pill, which color does it then? This usually causes a catastrophic reaction. See experiment log 876, which we'll read afterwards. The second pill will cause this effect regardless of time elapsed. For transparent capsules, a small sample of the element in question can be observed inside. Expecting radioactive elements, in those cases there is no sample. Analysis has shown the colors to follow a simple pattern. If the atomic number of protons for the corresponding elements is divided by 11, and the remainder taken, one can match up to the quotient and the remainder of 2 colors. For example, a remainder of 6 will invariably have a purple-sided pill. Therefore, purple means 6. Oh, that's a lot of math and chemistry that I didn't didn't pay attention to. Refer to the table to determine which number means which color. Data table expunged. Well, fuck. Unfortunately, a red and white pill is indistinguishable from a white and red pill. For this reason, it must be recorded with which of the bottles the pill came from. When replacement occurs, the new molecules are usually highly unstable. Spontaneous combustion is common. The combination that avoids this problem, nitrogen to phosphorus, for example, death is immediate due to the complete body chemistry failure. So with element, it wasn't like water, fire, earth, wind. It was like elements, as in like the elements of the chemical elements, like okay, or elements of what makes something up. Like the elements of a body or an object. Gotcha. In rare cases, the effects are beneficial, but this is always because of the replacement of elemental toxin. The newly formed elements have always has the most stable numbers of neutrons. Uranium extracted from the test subject cadavers is entirely depleted. Okay, now we get to see the experiment log. Experiment log A1. So it's like, okay, just A and then, oh yeah, because there's two different. Oh, these are all A's. Okay, never mind. Date. It looks like all the dates are blanked out, so we don't need to read date. Procedure. D-class personnel instructed to swallow 1 pill from -1 hydrogen, followed by 1 from -2 helium. Instant explosive decompression, spreading massive amounts of dust. No organic material discovered in the debris, but small amounts of graphite and redacted found. Man, for like any chemistry student, like anybody who knows their chemistry really well, this must be their favorite toy. Experiment log 2. D-class personnel instructed to swallow 1 pill from -2 helium, followed by 1 from -1 hydrogen. No effects. Okay. Log. Experiment log 3. D-class personnel instructed to swallow 1 pill from -618 argon, followed by 1 from -1 hydrogen. Subject lapsed into a coughing fit. Hydrogen content of surrounding air found to be increased post-experiment. It apparently treats the contents of the victim's lungs as part of the body. Dr. Blank. Experiment log 4. D-class personnel instructed to swallow a small steel ball bearing. Following that, D-class was instructed to swallow 1 pill from -26 iron, followed by 1 from -79 gold. I assume he wanted to like make that little ball bearing that he shits out into gold. Subject immediately collapsed and expired as expected. The section of the stomach revealed the steel ball to have converted into a gold-colored ball. This also works with the stomach contents. Everything became gold. Yeah, I mean. Okay, so I see what he means to say. Like, not only does your body change into whatever elements you changed it, but whatever got into your body, which in this case is a steel ball. I literally assumed he wanted him to shit out gold. Like, come on, let's make ourselves a little bit more rich. Experiment log 5. D-class personnel anesthetized and the stomach cut open. 1 -1 pill hydrogen added to the stomach and observed. The pill did not dissolve in stomach acids. Procedure 2. Robotic arm used to lift -2 helium pill and insert it into the D-class stomach. High-speed camera used for observation. Both pills disappeared approximately 0.01 seconds before in conversion, and the resulting explosive decompression. Okay, so it's like, it doesn't have to do with digesting it. It's literally just the moment the other pill shows up, it just happens. And that's probably the reason why it says doesn't matter how much time passes. The moment you eat another pill, the effect happens, which means that this pill just swims in stomach acid the whole time. It just stays there. Experiment log 6. Pill extracted from -1 hydrogen, then bisected with a laser. Small puff of yellow flame signaling a reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. -7. Experiment log 7, Pill extracted from -92 uranium, then bisected with a laser. Geiger counter detected no amount of uranium in the pill. Why does it only do this for radioactive elements? Look into it, Dr. Blank. Experiment log 8. 1/2 half pill used in experiment 6, which is the hydrogen one. Well to 1/2 of pill used in 7. Resulting capsule is similar in appearance to pills from -blank and -blank. D-class personnel is instructed to swallow the gold ball from from the experiment log 4, followed by a capsule from the Dash 79 Gold, and then the new pill. D-Class doubled over in pain and promptly fell unconscious. Geiger counters detected a concentrated source of radioactivity inside D-Class, suggesting data expunged. That's certainly interesting. The mechanism must be highly indifferent. Dr. Blank. Experiment log 9. One pill from Dash 40, zirconium, and one from Dash 80, mercury, placed side by side, colors aligned. Capsules are visually identical, colors blank and blank, both pills placed under a microscope. Results: despite extensive analysis, no difference between the pills could be visually determined. Identities of pills were not recorded, so it is not known which corresponds to which element. Crossed out. See experiment log 10. Pay attention to which one is which next time. Okay, so this is the moment they realize, like, yeah, be careful, because we don't know which one is which now. Math fucked us up big time. Experiment log 10, procedure 1. Unidentified pill from experiment 9 were weighed. Result: significant discrepancy in mass. This is attributed to a difference in density of the contents. Procedure 2, mercury, zirconium, amalgam administered to D-Class, heavier pill administered, followed by lighter pill. D-Class then sedated and stomachs dissected to retrieve amalgam. Amalgam changed into a lump of zirconium. And the last experiment, 11. One pill each from Dash 71, lutetium, Dash 75, rhenium, Dash 37, rubidium, Dash 57, lanthanum, and, well, there's so many. 62, samarium, 78, platinum, 64, gadolinium, 49, indium, 72, hafnium, 76, osmium, 60, neodymium, 48, cadmium, and 23 vanadium are extracted and bisected with a laser. The samples of the samples of lutetium, rhenium, rubidium, and lanthanum are pure. Lu 175, Re 185, Rb so lutetium, so okay, 85, and lanthanum, okay, gotcha, 139. The platinum sample showed no PT 190, and the samarium sample showed no SM 147, but contains the less radioactive SM 158, as well as other naturally occurring isotopes. All other samples are consistent with terrestrial composition. Notes: apparently there is an upper limit to which the pill defined an isotope to be radioactive, currently estimated to be 10 in the power 13 years. Dr. Blank. Whoo! That experiment was kind of fun to read. I like the idea of like seeing like the different combination, but it's also interesting how like some of them do combine into an effect, and some of them seem to only use one of the pills effect, or at least it seems like that. Maybe that just might be from my personal point of view. Because at the end, like I'm not a chemistry student, so there might be more complexity happening here that I do not appreciate as much. University microchips. Okay, I'm going down the conspiracy theory lane. It's a university that chip you when you're part of it, and then you become a student for all eternity. Or it's the Matrix thing, where you come into the university, they chip you, and you immediately know everything you need to know about the subjects, and then you leave like a day later, like, yeah, no, done. That's there's a extra page. I see. So there's gonna be multiple upcoming things that have to do with the. Okay, gotcha. Hey, our third keto. I think this is the highest amount of ketos I had in any of my SP readings, which is 3 of them. I'm pretty sure that's the highest. I think usually it's only like 2. Maybe not. Maybe there was another one that had 3 ketos in it, but I'm pretty sure that the most I had so far were 2s. It used to be Euclid, crossed out. All copies of SCP-877 are to be kept in electromagnetically sealed containers in the Site 19 storage vault. Containers are to be fitted with radio receivers set to scan all frequencies for incoming or outgoing transmissions. A log of previously used frequencies is to be kept on file. Any transmission from any copy of SCP-877 is to be reported immediately to Site 19 Command. All efforts are to be made to capture as many specimens of SCP-877 as possible to determine any of the object's other abilities. Description: SCP-877 is a set of 4, crossed out, 10, crossed out, 12 microchips acquired between 1990 blank and 2000. That could be, I can't even say it. I can't even say if it's 10 blank, because if it's 10, it's just 11 blank, 12 blank, 13 blank. I don't. How do you say this? I guess just 2001 blank. No, well, no, that doesn't work either. Fuck. Or 21 blank. But that doesn't sound right. Oh, fuck it. From the cerebral cortices of different small mammals. Animals found to contain copies of SCP-877 include, but are not limited to, Sciurus carolinus, the eastern grey squirrel, Felis catus, the domestic cat, and Eumops perotis, the western massive bat. The microchips are unmarked except for small stamps, readable only by electron microscope that read Alex Silva University Biology Department, followed by generation and a number. However, no records exist of an institution named Alex Silva University. Moreover, the abilities of these microchips are beyond the technological capability of any known laboratory to create. Copies of SCP-877 have a potential processing speed of 3.3 times 10 power of blank million instructions per second at blank terahertz and storage capability estimated at blank petabytes. The chips are capable of interfacing with and controlling the motor functions of host creatures, though they will usually allow the animal's instincts to carry out routine affairs, eating, nesting, mating. SCP-877 has primarily been noted to take over its host for the purpose of propagating itself. See Addendum 2. The mechanism by which it takes place is unknown, but the behavior associated is well documented. A host animal will approach another animal and immobilize it by the most expedient means available to it. The host will bite the creature somewhere on the head, making blood contact between the animals. The original host will release the animal after 10 minutes. Within 24 hours, a new copy of SCP-877 will emerge in the new host. The chip will be slightly smaller and the generation number will have advanced by 1. The highest generation number located to date is blank, and that's crossed out because they probably found more. See Addendum 2 for update. And each chip appears to be capable of propagating itself 6 times, implying that the total population of SCP-877 may be in the millions, crossed out again, tens of millions. And then the 1 recovery log. The first copy of SCP-877 located was discovered by a zoological researcher at the University of Redacted in Tennessee in 1990 blank. During a typical dissection, its unusual presence inside the creature drew attention of Foundation scientists who determined it to be a first-generation chip. Analysis of unusual energy readings from the chip led to scanning for radio transmissions with a frequency of redacted, leading to the capture of 2 more chips. Instances of SCP-877 began changing frequencies repeatedly, however, having several specimens in captivity made tracking easier. Addendum 2 update log, February 2011. A 10th specimen acquired. During testing, a major spike in radioactivity was recorded on several different frequencies. At this time, all instances of SCP-877 in captivity ceased transmitting on any frequencies, and all known frequencies for SCP-877 transmission went dead. O5 Command believes the rest of the chips are communicating on scrambled channels and continuing their propagation cycles. Without any understanding of the chip's origins or ultimate goal, the threat level of SCP-877 is to be considered high, and attempts to locate specimens of and materials relating to SCP-877 should be considered top priority. I mean, fair, there's a bunch of microchip zombies basically going around just infecting them, other animals, by biting into the head, and you don't know what they're planning to do. It used to be Euclid, so they probably thought it was like, oh, it's nothing too dangerous, but now they're like, wait, hold on a minute. We don't know how many of these things are out there. We don't know what they're planning. They might just try to overthrow all of us, try to kill all of us, who knows. August 2011, on 2 separate occasions within a week, reports were received of attacks against isolated humans by clusters of animals of different species working together. A single specimen of Didelphis virginiana, the North American opossum, was captured. Presence of SCP-877 confirmed during dissection. Reclassification to Keter requested. August 2011, Keter August 2011, Keter reclassification denied by O5 Command. September 2011. Why would you deny it? It's clearly not. It's clearly dangerous. It attacked humans, and you don't know how many there are, and it's spreading pretty quickly. September 2011, another attack involving SCP-877 recorded. 2 Boston Terriers, 4 squirrels, and a garter snake cooperated in attacking an 11-year-old child who had stayed into a wooded area near her home. Using radio frequencies tracking the 2 terriers were contained. Presence of SCP-877 was confirmed by dissection. Both specimens were marked generation blank and were located deeper in the cerebrium, making discovery more difficult. Mobile Task Force Row 1, the professors formed and mobilized for rapid response and containment of SCP-877 instances. So yeah, they're basically making a whole army. And I assume generation means basically how like generation 1, and then the next one bitten is generation 2. Anybody that gets bitten by generation 1 is generation 2. Anybody who gets bitten by generation 2 is generation 3. So, and since generation 1 can bite 6 and pass a chip to 6 people, so 6 can become generation 2 from generation 1. I assume that's how it works. Yeah, so basically like generation 1 here, and then like 6 generation 2 down here, and multiple generation 1 trees over here, you know, like separated from each other. And then those 6 generation 2s can have 6 times 6, 36 generation 3s, and yeah, that shit can spread so quickly. September 2011, after reports of unusual violent behaviors, the victims of the previous SCP-877 attack was brought in by Foundation researchers. MRI scan inconclusive, though a small shell was seen in the cerebral cortex. Researchers confirmed that the object was most likely SCP-877 given its consistent shape and location during multiple scans, though definite identification would not be possible while the subject was still alive due to the chip's placement. September 2011, Keter reclassification approved by O5 Command. Finally. They're like, okay, yeah, looks like it is more dangerous than I originally thought it would be. And then the professor who asked originally to make it Keter's like, oh, you think? Okay, the actor. It's a humanoid SCP that can slip into any role, and I mean any role. He's Hitman 47 of the SCP universe. He dresses up as somebody else and just pretends to be them. And everybody believes it. Doesn't matter what gender they're supposed to be or what age. The moment they dress up like that person and they act like the person, that everybody's just like, oh yeah, this is my son Timmy, but it's actually, and like, he's 8 years old, but he's a fucking 30-year-old man. So it's like, hello. It's like, oh, and he's like, oh, he's a cute little guy. How is school going? It's going alright. That's my assumption. Euclid. Efforts to physically contain either -1 or -2 have as yet been unsuccessful. Wait, efforts to physically contain either have as yet been unsuccessful. So you have them contained. It appears that by all evidence that -1 has no special abilities separate from -2, though -2 has shown primitive sort of willingness to protect -1. The primary effect can be completely abated by disrupting distribution and broadcast of any media containing SCP-878. Foundation personnel will monitor television, film, or any other media containing SCP-878 for purposes of suppression. This has successfully prevented SCP-878 effect in 78% of the containment attempts since discovery of SCP-878. Bearing this, iterations of dash 3 can be contained and prevented from harming others. This raises containment effectiveness to 95%. SB878 is an actor alias blank blank dash 1 and a prop knife closely resembling a 6th century iron dagger from the blank dynasty period in blank, classified as dash 2. Dash 1 has never had a permanent role on any television show, nor a role of any real importance in any film. Dash 1 appears approximately once every blank month on the set of various television shows, films, or theatrical performances during production. The crew forgets Dash 1 was ever absent and alters the script to include him. That's every actor's dream, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, I'm part of the crew. Totally. It's like, oh yeah, hey, yeah. Of course. Like, why would you say that? Of course you were. You always were. You always originally were to be the main protagonist. Or a side character, or an extra, or something like that. After Dash 1's appearance, at some point throughout the course of the plot, the character played by Dash 1 will find itself in a situation that brings it into conflict with a more important character. The conflict will develop into blows, which always end similarly. Dash 1 will beat his opponent mercilessly, far beyond both what is necessary to disable the character and beyond the level of brutality typically expected from the film or show in question. So like, imagine it's like a romance drama, and it's just two dudes trying to win the girl over, and this guy absolutely maims the other character, and he's like, and everybody's like, what? It's like, it was like, why are you doing this? I love her more than you. Once the other character stands for the last time, Dash 1 will strike the other character with the back of his left hand, leaving them sprawled on a desk or some other elevated surface. Remove Dash 2 from an unknown location, then plunge the knife fully into the other character's heart. Dash 1 will turn towards the camera. At the moment his eyes meet the camera, the show will go to commercial or the film will change scenes. Alternatively, during theatrical performance, Dash 1 will simply disappear, with no audience member able to recall where the character went. Dash 1 will not be seen again, and no explanation will be given for his absence. From this point on, the actor who was killed may be identified as Dash 3. After the event, Dash 3 will begin to display behavioral abnormalities, uncharacteristics of the previous personality. This will begin with minor sex scandals and drug addictions, degenerating within a matter of weeks into paranoia and homicidal tendencies. If SB878 is observed at work, Dash 3 can be contained by Foundation personnel through the symptoms Foundation personnel, though the symptoms will never abate and the actor will typically find a way to kill either others or themselves. Since most instances of Dash 3 simply disappear from the public eye, a fate not uncommon for less well-known actors, the correlation between Dash 1 and his effects has gone unnoticed by the general public, and a stress-related cover story is given to the actors' families. To the extent that they have a single entity, SB878's motives are unknown. No records of Dash 1 appearing in any media without Dash 2 exists, and his real identity is unknown. Proposal for controlled use of SB878 as a means of containing broadcast-based anomalies such as SB1241 are currently under review. So wait, so is SCP-878 like Dash 1 and Dash 2 still on the run? Because that beginning sentence still confuses me when it says like so far has yet to been physically containing them has so far yet been unsuccessful. Because that would mean you contained them successfully, right? Or am I just getting something wrong in my head? Last one. Colonial cetacean? Cetaceans, any members of an entirely aquatic group of mammals, commonly known as whales, dolphins, and porpoises. What's a porpoise? Huh? Porpoises. No, so it's in the It looks similar to a dolphin. That was not necessary, Google. You didn't have to hit us with that one. Or this one. Oh my god, what is, oh, how many? Okay, I'm colonial. They colonized the ocean. They go around and colonize shit. Make people become them. So you're one of us now. This is also our ocean land now. Or it's a Simpsons episode where the dolphins come onto land and it's like we're gonna take over. What was the fucking reason why the dolphins in the Simpsons decided to like fuck it and came to like to land and was like, "Are we taking over the humans?" What was the reason for that? Okay, Euclid. Revised blank 2000 blank. Due to the successful capture of SB-879, it is to be stored in a reinforced aquatic specimen tank measuring 30 times 20 times 10 meters on site. Blank. SB-879 is to be kept in a chemically induced coma via intravenous injection. It requires no nutrients outside of bi-weekly hydrogen sulfide injections. All tools that come in contact with SB-879 are to be fully sterilized so as to prevent accidental spread or exposure of the entity's pheromones. The former Site 55 and all specimens of -2 contained therein are to be remotely observed by drones operated from the Foundation research ships Andromeda, Alcatraz, and Black Mountain. A 20-kilometer security perimeter is to be kept around Site 55 at all times. Description: SB-879 is an oceanic mammal measuring 26 meters in length, 85.3 feet, bearing a strong resemblance to the order Cetacea. The creature has smooth skin, which is primarily black with a white underbelly and moves by means of a fluke tail and 10 sets of flippers. Whoa. The two foremost pairs are highly muscular and are still used as rudimentary limbs during beaching. While SB-879 is toothed, it also possesses a set of retractable baleen. SB-879 exudes, oh my god, my reading, a powerful pheromone based in epidermal oils with severe mind-altering effects in humans over a range of approximately 100 meters, as well as the capability of further spread through physical contact. Those exposed to the pheromone will seek out SB-879 with a single-minded determination, ignoring all but the strongest of outside stimuli. Study of subjects' brain chemistry indicate a state resembling sexual attraction. Don't like that. Especially knowing how dolphins are. Upon encountering SB-879, subjects will strip themselves of clothing, make a physical contact with the entity, and data experiment. Don't fuck the dolphin. Especially, I mean, this is a big one. This is 26 meters long, dude. Surgical removal is only viable within the first hour of absorption. Oh wait, it's being absorbed as well. It's like this creature just like become one with me and has only been effective in point blank percentage of attempts. SB-879 currently has no fewer than 73 individual humans absorbed into its own body, which now exists as residual clusters of organs. The subject's neutral and cardiovascular systems are linked to that of SB-879, while unnecessary systems such as the digestive and respiratory have atrophied. This effectively grants SB-879 a secondary nervous system and the appropriate means to oxygenate it, as well as the functions granted by the repurposing of the grafts. Absorbed bodies fall into one of three categories. Sexual, grafts will be repurposed into reproductive organs, supplying eggs and sperm to SB-879 and granting it the capability of a hermaphroditic reproduction. Chemosynthetic grafts will become organs housing specialized bacteria which feed off hydrogen sulfide that has been absorbed by SCP-879 and are used as a steady supply of energy. Unspecialized grafts will serve no further purpose after absorption. SCP-879 was first seen in 1976 when it beached itself on the island housing Site 55, coordinates redacted, off the coast of Antarctica, and proceeded up to absorb the staff present and spawn the first generation of -2. This breeding site has been used for all subsequent generations with an average of 3 to 4 years between beachings. Outside of reproduction, SCP-879 recorded pre-containment behavior consistent solely of seafloor hibernation periods used to absorb hydrogen sulfide from deep water events and migratory swimming pattern contained within approximately 1,200 square mile section of the Antarctic and South Pacific Ocean. Now it makes sense to me now why they beach. So they throw themselves on purpose onto the beach, and so people will come along and be like, "Oh no, we should help you out, you poor thing. Wow, you're big. I'll get some friends." And then next thing you know, a whole bunch of people come along, and once they're close enough, they're like, "What? Is it just me, or is this thing kind of hot?" and then somebody's like, you know what I mean? Like they just all like nakedly pile on top of this thing, and then this dolphin's like this. Well, it's not a dolphin. It's just a cetacea. It's like, yes, gather around, and absorb all of them. There have been 9 recorded generations of -2 classified as -2A, 2-2I, and a total of 86 individuals living on Site 55 as a 2000 as a blank 2000 blank period. The appearance of these differs from brood to brood. Earlier generations bear more resemblance to humans, while later ones will more closely resemble SCP-879. All specimens of -2 are shown aggression towards any intrusion upon Site 55 by Foundation personnel, and no individuals are capable of moving themselves any significant distance away from Site 55. It is believed that -2 would have reached full development by the 12th generation. And then in 1 blank 2000 blank, due to a shift in SCP-879's migration pattern, which brought it dangerously close to Tasmania and the Australian coast, Operation Belly Flop was ordered by the O5 board, carried out by Dr. Blank and Agent Blank. And then in 2, blank 2000 blank, Operation Belly Flop concludes a success. SCP-879 was brought under Foundation control, but with more physical damage than originally projected. Dr. Blank was put under disciplinary review for causing needless damage to an SCP item. I mean, can you blame them? Like you can't be too close to this thing, and otherwise, like, you know, you wanna fuck it. Addendum blank 2010. Okay. Footage recorded by drones observing Site 55 shows 2-2 individuals. So -2I-3 and -2H-6 respectively, displaying mating behavior. Results of said behavior remain inconclusive. Observation of Site 55 has been increased, and 5 members of Task Force Gamma 6 deployed to the Black Martin to provide further support. And that was the 870s, my dear friends. There we go. Alright, here is the list. I mean, I will be honest, the two first keys are strong. Like, I have to tell you guys, the self-replacing cake and maybe the monsters at first they were the same level, but then after a while, I was like, no. The Terraformer is definitely more interesting to me than the self-replacing cake. But yeah, so first, the maybe there's monsters, that is just fun. That's just very cool. I wish there was more, like a log that would show how many different versions of monsters they saw. I mean, the 5 we've seen is pretty creative and pretty fun, but I wish there was a couple more, just to see like what else kind of crazy things people see in this thing. Tattered farmer, I mean, a scarecrow that just makes animals do a farmer's job. But you can't be too close to the animals because otherwise they get a bit more aggressive. But yeah, no, that just seems like fun. At first I was like concerned because of course scarecrows, let's be honest, not really the most relaxing thing to look at for animals and for humans sometimes. Especially if you think about like certain horror movies that have been done with scarecrows, so or just in general like urban legends with scarecrows. That I was waiting for something really messed up, but that's just a fun one. It's a very fun one. I like that idea. Self-replacing cake, as I said before, at first I thought it was like in the same category as the Maybe There's Monsters, like how much I enjoyed them. But then I was like, you know, the only risk of it is that if you accidentally break it, it will instantaneously make a new cake, and if you don't eat it fast enough, then more cake, and more and more and more until the world will be covered in cake. So, and as I said, like the world is cake. That joke just made me go like, yeah, that's the. It's good. It's a good SCP, but I would say like the Tattered Farmer definitely made me. No, the Maybe There's Monsters made me a bit more worried about the world on a keto level compared to the self-replacing cake. Again, it is good though. It's a lot of fun though. Abyssal Fluid, I was just very happy that I was actually to guess this one correctly. You know, I was like, oh, it's like the cartoon thing where you have like where you draw a hole and people just fall into it. But with this one, it is that, yeah. But getting out of it is not as easy, and also if you do get out of it, you just want to die. Because apparently whatever's in that hole makes you feel things. The actor, yeah, like I mean, that one seems like that one's actually a good one to do. I'm gonna use that one. That's a good 5th script to do for my SCP show. Yes, finally I found. I mean, I have multiple SCPs here that I'm ready to make into scripts, but I was just wondering which one of these would be easy to do, and this one seems like an easier one to do. You know. Okay. In the meantime, let me just talk about the other ones. Colonial Cetacean. Why I gotta fuck the dolphin, man? I know it's not a dolphin, but it's like, but yeah, like it's in the dolphin family, dolphin and whale family. Why you gotta do that? Why couldn't you leave your? Why can't you keep your pants on? And then it just spawns smaller fusion version of human and dolphin and cetaceans, and then after a while it becomes fully cetaceans. Ugh. University microchips. Yeah. If you're not careful, those animals are going to take over the world. They're definitely going to take over the world. They won't hesitate. They kill us all, and then use the education system that they got implanted into themselves. They will use that with great vigor to make sure that the world is a better place. Maybe. Or maybe they just do the same mistake as we do. War criminals? Yeah. Aliens. That's all I will say about that one. Element switching pills. As I said, I feel like if I knew more about chemistry, if I was like much more knowledgeable or just much more because we had chemistry in school, of course, but that was like in school, you know, that's when you like force yourself to like remember stuff and then just to pass the class and the tests. But after a while, and then after that's over with, you just forget about it. unless you don't, unless you somebody who is interested in that, or just in general like kept that actually memorized really well. I don't. I like when people talk about it and show like cool shit with it. Like on TikTok, there's always like videos like, oh, if you add these and this is what happens, and this is the reason why it happens. That shit's cool. But I will not remember the details. I just be like, oh, thing happens. A reaction happens. Russian crystal ball, Tenet. That's also all I'm gonna say. Well, that was the S&P 870s, guys. I really hope you all enjoyed the reading of today. Next weekend we'll finish the 800s, as I previously mentioned. This Wednesday Lexi and I might get done with Dying Light. At least the first game. We might get done with it. We are 89% through with the story. I'm pretty sure there are no more side quests that we have. Maybe there is some side quests like still lingering around the world somewhere, but from the looks of it, we don't have any side quests available right now, and we probably have to like go out and look for them on purpose if we want them, or get like some of the safe zones unlocked to get some more side quests, which I'm not sure if we're going to do that. Yeah, so that's done, and there's a poll on my Twitter that shows which upcoming game I should play for Thursday and Friday. So far I can tell Hades is in the lead, and I believe Devil May Cry 5 is second choice. But yeah, so far Hades is clearly winning. But we'll see how that poll ends, if more people vote on it or not. But yeah, other than that, I wish you all a good morning, afternoon, evening. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next stream or in the next video. And the Afro is with you.